Peace to all the queens.
What's up out there? We live.
Tapping in.
I need everybody to tap in.
Cool people.
Everybody to tap in.
Eat with a poet.
Subscribe.
Never leak it or show it.
Shout out
Gotta
to
pull your
Elaina.
own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come eat with a poet.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Elaina the Poet, and I am back. Eat with a Poet. Gang, gang, gang. Jesus girl, you already know. So, yeah, we've been gone for a little bit, but we are back, and we're definitely talking about those important issues. So we're back in Sunrise, Florida at Gigi's Music Cafe, my favorite place to be. You already know. We got the shrimp cocktail. We got the grouper and the grits with the fried green tomatoes and the soul rolls. And I got my classic Bob Marley, as you already know. So anyway, we're talking about some real important issues today, and specifically it's been really on my heart when it comes to my people and my culture, the blacks, us y'all, us. So I thought it was important to talk about this because there's been a lot of events that have happened or taken place just from the last time we've talked, and have really gotten a chance to kind of question and answer and all those things. So this is episode 27, and I think it's important to get these conversations going because we are all aware that as people we struggle in so many areas generally. Now that's finance, that's prejudice against each other, that's black on black crime, that's hood slave mentality and relationships. But the root of these all are relationships. All right. Now, y'all know I be in my bag of opinions quite often, but I'm going to be honest with you. Relationships, those things start from a child, from when you're a child. So this is where, the problem arises. But let's talk about it. I'm going to give you some numbers, some fun facts. All right. So I did a little bit of research, and it tells me that 4.76 million black married couples in the U.S. 4.76 million black married couples in the U.S. Then I did a little bit more research. I was like, okay, Google, well, how many singles, right? Well, let's just ask how many single mothers. So Google tells me that there is 4.25 million black single mothers. Right? So 4.76 married, 4.25 single. I mean, that's pretty close. Then she tells me, I'm going to assume Google is a girl, but she tells me that 1.23 million black families have single fathers. So these are the dads handling the business and doing what needs to be done. And then in total in the U.S., there is 41.6 million blacks. So 41.6 million blacks. Of that, 1.23 million is single fathers, 4.25 million is single mothers, and 4.76 million of us have decided to do the marriage thing and try to hang in there as a family. So what happened to the rest? What happened to the rest of Black America? What are they doing when it comes to family? And how do we get to our ultimate goal of being equal with the rest of America if we can't even learn how to love and marry amongst one another? Interesting, right? I'm gonna take a sip off that. Cause baby, the truth be like, whoa. Like Black Rob said, like, whoa. All right. So listen, this is a very real question. And I don't want you to, I just kind of want you to think about it. Think about what it means to you, how important it is to you. Now, I do have a special guest that's going to be joining me soon. But right now, I'm just, I'm trying to feel you out and see what you guys think and what you feel about the black families in America. Now, why do we feel it's okay to be single with no desire to work on ourselves to get ready to meet our forever mate? Now, this is important, okay, because this is a result of a lot of children being born into the world that, and how their mindsets are, and how they're going to be thinking, and what they're going to be chasing after on their journey. When God created man, he said it is not good for man to be alone, so he made woman. Then he said, I will make a helper suitable for him. Suitable, right, or appropriate for a particular person, purpose, or situation. Then he told us to be fruitful and multiply. Now that's what he said. Okay? Together, not separate. Hear me now and hear me good. Okay? Now Proverbs 18:22 says, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and shall obtain favor from the Lord. Now I'm gonna let y'all marinate on that, okay? Because that sounds pretty self-explanatory to me. But a true to our human nature, right? We form and basically what we do as humans is we change up the laws of nature and man. Because guess what? We just we can do whatever we want to do. Leave it to us. We can just kind of change things and bend things and try to shove things and all kind of stuff we do to make life convert to what we want, whether it's right or wrong. And a lot of that has to do with what were you taught? What is your foundation? Where do you come from, and what was instilled into you when you were a child? What happened in your environment? What gave you drive or lack of? Where do your ambitions come from, and what is the root of your beliefs? So these things are important because these are the things that make our future. They make our upcoming children and the ones that are going to be taking over and leading as we sit back, and we'll need them to take care of us. So this is so important as far as I'm concerned. Now, what we're going to have a special guest who's going to join us, and we're just going to chop it up with him a little bit, eat a little bit, a little group and grits, and see what he thinks and what he has to bring to the table as far as families in America, relationships. Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. Child, my honey cried when he passed away. It was so sad. But he did spark the match. And I'm not saying that the match had not been sparked before, where people had not had these conversations and brought up things about relationships, how a woman should be, what a man is looking for, how a man should be in order to obtain his desired mate. All these things have been taught to us, and people have been tapping into this for a while now. But Kevin Samuels, I must say, he rebirthed this topic in a new form, and he gave it a new life. And so many people followed what he was teaching and what he had started. So and it was truth to the homes that it was truth to, and a lot of it was factual. He had numbers and all these different things. I'm not gonna get into that because I don't want to be the bandwagon jumper, but it's a very real thing. That man was watched in my home, and a lot of what he taught and a lot of the facts and information that he gave out, what he thought and his theories, they were believed and they were beginning to manifest throughout a lot of men here in US. So to shout out to him, rest in peace. So we're gonna be right back. Y'all stay right there. This is your girl, Elaina the Poet, and it's Eat with a Poet. Yeah. So I'm trying these little soul rolls here, which taste pretty delicious. They come with like some little sweet sauce. Let me take this off. Some little sweet sauce, and I dip it in like so. Mm. It's like little collard greens in the middle, and then they wrap it and put like a little sweet sauce on the side, and they fry it like real crispy. Mm. It's good. Good. Right? But wait. And they have like this little shrimp cocktail that you dip in like a little aioli sauce. And y'all know I love shrimp. Every time. Mmm. So good. Pretty delicious. You know I'm a double dipper. Don't eat with me. Cause I need my own sauce. I'm gonna get into this group in a second. And we are back. And I'm back with my special guest. Yes. Listen, I just gotta give y'all like a little small, brief, little itty bitty, tiny, weeny introduction. Just because, I mean, he could tell you who he is, right? But at the end of the day, I take the pleasure in introducing this handsome king who is next to me. He is my brother in rhyme. He is all things that is amazing in the city of Miami, Florida, making major moves, doing poetry, hosting shows, throwing events, and so many other things he has. He's like a serial entrepreneur slash entertainer slash artist. Listen, y'all, I need y'all to understand. It's Mr. GS.Cole.
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Listen, I've been trying to eat with the poet for a minute. Hey, I'm on with you. Oh, definitely trying to eat with the poet.
Listen, we got that good grouper.
Listen, we're out here at Gigi's Music Cafe, you know what I'm saying? A black-owned business that's been running strong for a long time.
10 years.
I remember when they was just $43.85 just on one side. Now they're bigger. They got grocery stores. They got wineries. Like, this was the first time I had soul rolls and
The first time you had soul rolls?
no, yeah, the first time I had soul
I think
rolls.
so for me too.
And then I also had the first time I had
Oh my God!
So-
No, you are so right.
Yeah, so it's been an adventure.
I can't believe that you even remembered that. But then you reminded me. It was years ago that I had that sweet potato brownie with some ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
They used to serve it with ice cream, y'all. It was finger licking delicious.
Yeah, definitely one of those things, though. So, but anyway, we here.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I stay back at Gigi's. You know, we represent Miss Gigi is doing major things in the community. So Eat with a Poet has pretty much been based out of Gigi's for over a year, since 2021, showing us love.
Idea, though. It's a good idea because imagine if you can go to different black-owned restaurants and sit down and eat and do Eat with a Poet. It's not just showcase Gigi, but showcase some of them too. But you know, everybody ain't home based like Gigi, so
That's what I'm saying. You know, I had a few runs with a couple of other little
yeah,
restaurants,
but it ain't turned out like that.
and it ain't nothing like Gigi's. Trust me, this is like home for Eat with a Poet. So listen, I had started the conversation. We ain't gonna talk to y'all long, but we are gonna hit y'all with a message and drop some information, some jewels, we like to call them. Because GS is a poet here in South Florida, you know me, I think it's important for our poets to be the voice of the people. And he is truly on the ground with the people, especially where he's from, Dade County. So I was talking about, you know, relationships and black families, and then I gave some numbers about the single moms, the couples, the married couples, the single dads, and then just in overall how many blacks are in the U.S. And I'm wondering, like, what's going on with our families? Like, what do you think that we as people can do or should do to start that process of just doing the work?
Well, run them numbers down to them.
So the first thing I said was there are 4.76 million black married couples in the U.S., black married families in the U.S., 4.25 million black families with single moms, All right, 1.23 million black families with single fathers. And in total, U.S. tells us there is 41.6 million blacks here in the U.S. Let's talk about it.
Well, some of them numbers, when it comes to family, there's really not. It's a big discrepancy in numbers and everything, but there's also a lot of different things that play in place. And one of the things that play in place is that a lot of kids are coming out non-binary, gay, such and such. So those situations will definitely separate from whether black families are being married. So we don't know, are they calculating black families being married as in the man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man? So
that's very interesting.
Those numbers we can't. Yeah, those numbers,
we don't know if that's male or female marriages, right, and how that's working. You are so right.
So that number we don't know how they're challenging that. Another thing is we can go way back to basically the slavery days when they basically trained us to train the black woman to not be able to depend on their husband or their man, because they emancipated them from that. They not emancipated, they castrated them, they treated them like that, they raped them and did all this stuff. Then so you got a woman looking at her man who is man, he don't feel whole like a man again. So you got that stuff that plays in the part. Then you got to play. I won't play the part that we just got. The women are having babies too.
Mm-hmm. Making a choice. Women are making choices to keep having babies.
And what I've learned too, in this whole nation, if you run around and you just do like the unheard research, and unheard research is a lot of these women out here having babies young for the welfare, for the multiple $800,000, $900,000 worth of food stamps, because it's a hustle, it's a trap, some of them just having babies, just be having babies.
And that speaks to the foundation.
Right.
That speaks to the root of the problem, where they come from, what morals are being instilled in these girls from children. And the thing is how do we stop the cycle of this? Because what happens is that's what we have. We'll have a bunch of women who choose to have babies so they can get benefits, because the benefits that come with that are things that pretty much make you feel like you set up. You get a little place, because if you get housing or food stamps, so you get a place, you get something to eat, and you can pretty much maintain a little job, make you a little money. And this is what the majority is. So you don't need a man. As a matter of fact, you cannot have one, especially in your home, or supporting you in any form or fashion, or you're going to have to go get a job, a real job. And work.
So that also plays a part too. A reason why these households are separate too. And a lot of it be like you got some women be angry with their child's father, and they go down there and run and put them on child support. So now you didn't put the child support on, which you already know is a beaten up structure. Either side of the fence. It don't matter if it's man or woman. But now you got this dude. He has so much malice in it. Now he don't even want to be around the child. And that has a lot that plays a part too. Like, we're our own dysfunction.
I'm telling you.
But it's somewhat a product of the environment.
And so when we can't change a lot of the environments, then we have to change
your mind state.
We have to change the mentality of the people, so that even in these environments, they can push. And I don't want to say push through, because to me that sounds like barely making it, but so that they can thrive. Even still, regardless of, or even as a result of being in this environment, I'm bursting out to thrive and to do things, because I'm being taught in my home that we're born with purpose. This is things that we have to do, certain things we need to do, certain things we shouldn't do. And so we have a lot of work that we have
we definitely got a lot of work, and some of these homes are not even being birthed with that type of motivation, telling them that, hey, you can do this and you can be this. Some of them homes like, you ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna be ish. You ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna add up the amount. You gonna be worse than me. You gonna be just like your dad. You gonna be just like your auntie. You gonna be like your sister when I put her out the house. Because that's one thing I learned about for black families. We are quick to force our children out here into the world at a young age. The other families don't do it, but we do it so fast. Come on, we putting kids out as young as 16, 17 and letting them go out there and fend in this world that's unapologetic. That right there is another main reason of why we can't get things together, because we already pushing them out.
Would you say it's a sense of selfishness? for ourselves. Like a lot of us, in general, have a selfish way about ourselves. And I don't know if that's to speak to the stigma of coming from slavery days, and from then to now. It's like we've always had to be a people that were oppressed in a certain sense. And regardless of whether it's to be discussed now or just overall, that's a known fact that these things have affected the culture of our people as far as the mentality and the way we think. And so the Bible says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. So if we think a certain way, that's going to be the way that we function. The unfortunate part is the masses of us function, and we have like a unwritten understanding. We understand, we know, we get it, we get our people no matter what. There's a small percentage of black people who would claim to be unfamiliar with the general black way of thinking and being. But at the end of the day, when it comes to choosing sides in this world, you got to pick a side. And most times, especially when it comes down to them or anybody else and us, everybody's choosing their people, their own kind, their own people. We see it right here in this America. We see the Caucasians help the Caucasians and get together, and they build, and they recycle the money, and they change the company names, and they repartner behind. We see it with the Jews. We see it with the Asians. How they get together and they help each other because they know they're stronger together. They know they're more powerful together. And so, but we are the only ones.
Don't I ain't gonna say we don't know it. We just don't do it.
We don't do it. We don't do it. And there's so many things that I we can call out to say things are keeping us from it. I mean, but let's just get back to the basics. Let's just start back in homes.
Yeah.
Right back in the homes, in the foundation of where they come from. So that's why these things are important to me, to get these conversations going, because I want to strike that thought.
I always look at the professional athletes for their contributions, or should I say lack of contributions. And I always say lack of contributions because you can come back to where you play football or basketball up and you throw up do a turkey drive, or you do a camp, and you do all this stuff like that. Okay, that's cute. Oh, I'm about my community. No, if you was about your community, then you would take your money and buy the properties in your community and make it affordable for your community to be
I
able
think
to
whatchamacallit did do that though. T.I.
To what extent? I don't know. They tell us these things, but
I don't know.
But nobody. They tell us all these things. Like you grew up. If you grew up in a neighborhood and you doing this ESPN walk, and you walk, you like, I used to play football at 9. This is the projects. This all ran down. We lived in this house. We lived in that house. Me, I'll be walking through there like, I gotta get with my team of people, my investors, and I gotta see if we can build some apartments here and see if we can get people back living in these areas. And this apartment won't be here because this corner store was there, now that corner store there. Like, if you got the finances and you claim you're about your community, then make the finances about your community and everything. Instead, they're more so on the terms of let's go buy these changes. I'm buy these chains, these cars, these wheels. We're gonna throw it. We're gonna have the club jumping because I'm coming in. Blah blah blah. That's all fine and dandy. Not saying
that's where their real heart is.
Yeah.
Their real heart is in the
really
life and everything that comes with having the riches. The give back part is a part of the criteria.
Gotcha.
So the people tell them, hey, you got to do this a certain amount of time. You got to do this. You got to do that, and it looks good. But we know that that's not their walk. Their real walk with life. And that's why I think it's so important for you, for me as poets, to be that voice and to put those types of messages in people's ear, like what you said. Listen, man, let's get this here property and let's put some people in it.
Yeah.
But these are the things that, we want to be able to have an opportunity when we have an opportunity to be that voice, to say that and put that in. That's a good seed, to plant. And who are you to say it? You're a poet, so it's your responsibility.
I was in an event, and it was an event for black businesses and all black owners, and everybody was there in this event. And there was a guy in the event that said, I know how to I can get everybody in this event some type of funding where they can get almost up to $1.2 million, stuff like that. So the people in the event was like, well, tell us.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, you gotta come to my blueprint to help my community. Why am I gonna charge my community the blueprint? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if we can make change, why not make change?
Why not just make change?
Exactly. Everything for, I don't want to say
something
it
for
all,
nothing. Something for nothing.
With a lot of black communities, a lot of blacks who have money want people to see them rich and want people to gloat for them being rich and say, oh, that boy came up, oh, that boy such. But they don't want to come back and help that brother come and get that. Sure enough, some of the community is like this. I want a handout. I want a handout. I want a handout. I don't want to put in the work.
Right.
But give them work.
Right.
And
Correct.
you change something else.
Correct. This is important, y'all. We could get into it a little deeper, but listen, we're gonna have to get into another little part, another little time. Anyway, this was good. I want to, constantly be ringing your bells, ringing the alarms, reminding you that it's about self-evolution. We can't get to the point that we need to be if we're not working on ourselves. So that's the most important thing. I want to thank my special guest for coming out today, Mr. GS.Cole. Y'all can look him up. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is G_S_Cole, COLE. That's my Instagram. Facebook is GS.Cole. You can look up the Wembley's Courtyard. You can find me on there. I do Cigar Sundays.
What's the name of it?
Wembley's Courtyard.
Oh, Wembley's. Like Wembley's, like
W-I-M.
like tennis.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
No, that's
not Wimbledon, but similar.
Right.
Okay.
But, you can catch me on there. I'm at doing Cigar Sundays there. It's a 35 and up event. Because I can't party with the youngsters. So.
Right, correct.
I'm also a part of the Small Towns Need Poetry thing. I'm
Small Towns Need Poetry too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sarah Peterson one time.
I'm an executive producer over there on documentary.
Yes.
Prophecy
Society. I'm trying to help him out because he just got off.
That's actually it's a label for spoken word artists. It's a recording label.
Oh wait, hold on real quick. Let me interject. Did you know that now the Grammys have now given the spoken word poetry their own section in the Grammys now, y'all?
And let me say
category, y'all. Spoken word.
Let me tell y'all, it has been there, but it has now been pushed even more.
Oh my God!
And you got to thank Sarah Peterson and Briscoe. Briscoe did a major part of this too. So they did something. Because Briscoe's part of the Grammy committee. So.
Shout out, y'all! Shout out to the people on the ground doing the work, and shout out to all the amazing poets who actually submitted to the Grammys to make that happen. I was going on, but I ain't gonna say names because they ain't called me a name. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Elaina Poet on YouTube. Hit that like button. And I'm gonna see y'all right back here on With a Poet.